Next up in the den, a data architect from Halifax, Nova Scotia with a software solution that cures all of your survey woes. This kind of curation and analysis is not monkey business.
Good morning, Dragons. BS. My name is Peter Waivenga, and I'm here today from Halifax, Nova Scotia, to tell you about my company, Osong Technologies, and our flagship program, Curator. Now, Curator is a program that we have built to solve the problem of survey tools. The ones that are out there lack any kind of valuable analytics that can be done on your data. We have purpose-built Curator to be able to solve that problem and give you valuable insights in a more timely manner with any question set that you want to add. Our competition are established things like SurveyMonkey, deeper ones like Typeform, and little branches of big companies like Google. Our current team consists of 4 students from BIA, 2 database administrators, 8 data analytics administrators, and 2 angel advisors. Our validation is currently underway and being done with a set of 220 questions that have 30 nestings and over 60 years of industry history. You've heard a bit about this from my colleague Ray Azamet. The ask, Dragons. The ask for the one-time deal only for today is Canadian $4,200 for the first half of 2018 for 20% royalties on our first $5,000 profit. Before we continue, and I tell you all about the advanced features of Curator, let me show you what it can do. Kevin, this one's for you. Sorry, Jim. Jim, this is for you. Imagine you want to know your users, your diner's preference of hamburgers or pizza. This is a very simple example of the power of Curator. You can design your survey and put it into Curator from the questions up or from the answers down. If you want to add from the questions up, you start with your questions, and you can just put in any questions you want into our system. If you want to start with the answers, that's fine too. This is what you're going to be looking for. As you move through the system, you will start to, as you can see here, put your questions into categories. Answers down, you're going to split your answer into sub-answers. You will continue then to look at your categories for pizza and for hamburgers, and just to show you the power, we've showed you dining preferences. From the questions up, this is how you subdivide now into your categories, which we call nestings. Visually, you've done the same thing, moving into your hamburger sauces, and then your pizza, doughs and toppings. Finally, you arrive at the other end of your design for your curated space. You have a rating from your questions that will tell you how much people like hamburgers and how much people like pizza based on your questions. Or, if you've built from the answers, you will have much better ideas on how to arrange your question set. This was just 10 questions, and this is what it looks like as a diagram. Each of the 10 questions nests into one of the categories. Each of the categories nests into one of the subcategories. And preferences is down here by itself because it only has one nesting. There's 2 questions about it. What this looks like in text view, and you can input your questions simply in Excel, and we'll translate them for you. It looks like it's got your question, and then it maps to your first nesting, which maps to your second nesting. If it's only got one nesting, there's only one category. The dashboard that you will see, this is a model of Diner X compared against the general population. And we can make this dashboard look like whatever you want it to. This one just highlights where Diner X is more than the population average. Slicing and dicing with this simple 10 question set, well, we can figure out things like diners who like ketchup also like pineapple. Chewy pizza crust loves to go to a sit-down restaurant. We can look at 3 things together, like pizza and hamburgers and the relationship with cheese. And then, of course, the individual diner's preferences. We can go deeper simply by adding dimensions. These are 2 model dimensions that would show up on your check at Boston Pizza. Kids' meals, love cheese as a topping. Seniors only like ketchup on their hamburgers. This is one you can add by just looking at the location of the store. Diners from Nova Scotia like 10% more pizza. Haligonians dislike pizza, only 3%. And something like pineapple is twice as popular in Sydney as it is in Bedford. I'm going to give you a moment to digest this as we switch gears to tell you about all of the advanced features you can take advantage of as part of Curator. Because Curator is the first survey tool on the market that can go into deep analytics from day one, hour one, minute one, and keep you that up to date on what your clients are giving you for feedback. We have powerful question sets. Now, our default for the questions are scalar values from 1 to 5. You will simply say how much you like or dislike something. But depending on your questions, we can do different scalar values to a custom range. We can do a closed alphanumeric set, choose A, B, C, or D. We can do those and allow multiple entries. And we can even do those with user-generated responses, where you want to know your user's thoughts. Currently, we can handle up to 512 of your questions. And we can define up to 4,096 connections, up to 16 nested levels. The question identification is indeed formidable. We can reword questions so that you have an alternative version of the same question without needing to redefine the relationship. We can help you with inverse questions, where you change the language again, and the value, the scalar value, is opposite, simply done with math. And we can transcribe questions, taking the A, B, C, D numbers and giving those values to be able to perform mathematical functions. We feature a range of deployment strategies. You can deploy your survey on paper. Just give it out to everyone you want to have it. You can use an intermediate digital format like your own website or an app or anything that you have designed that you're comfortable giving to your users. You can embed something from yourself or from us in your web page, and you can include it as part of your application. Then, we have to do something with it to give you your results. We can do paper-to-file transformation, or you can do a self-serve template and help us get it on the way. A file-to-file transformation from your intermediate source, also possible, or you can curate your survey with us and get direct analytics and insights from day one, hour one, minute one. Our deployment methodologies allow for many different types of question deployments. You can have your questions randomized so that every user gets their own set of questions. You can have multi-session input, where your 200 set of questions is divided into palatable 20-question blocks, and then aggregated over time as your user finishes. You can have partial sessions, where you let them go as far as they want and then stop and finish the rest later, and they can finish it over 10 sessions. You can have rolling session input, which for our purposes means if there's 20 questions, at the end of those 20 questions, they'll ask the same ones again next week and give you new results based on the updates. And time series. We can always track when your users are giving you these answers so that we can know when you need what you need to know. And of course, these can be deployed in any form, any combination. The scalability of our current product is self-storage. If you have storage, we can analyze and report for between 100 and 1 million surveys. That's our current capacity. For storage and curation, if you require full curation from us, again, 100 to 1 million. Those numbers, we've never seen more than 1 million, and 100 is the minimum cap where it's going to be valuable to you. Blended storage, this is something we offer where you store part of the information and we store part of the information so that you can keep private health information or other private information private. We don't want your health information. We will do your analytics. Dashboards and reports for Curator are customizable either in a self-serve format from customizable templates on our site, or automated, on-demand, custom built. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first tool to curate your questions and provide you the analytics you need to the day, to the hour, to the minute. Question?